Everyone. Okay, sorry about my squeaky voice. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So, I'm just my ears have been so pumped, so syringed that I can hear so clearly, but at the same time, it sounds like it's echoing. Anyways, I want to talk about things, and of course, I want to talk about this specifically. Um, But before I continue, I just want to say that I want to give you an update, a very quick update, because I don't know if I'll make a video. I think I might, judging by how things are working out. But, you know, I'm still somewhat sick, and it's not really a big surprise, really, at all, to be somewhat sick. The problem I have is continuing, but very slowly. Still have a lymph node, still have those things on my ears, still have the sore in my mouth. What else? My stomach is having issues. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on anymore. And um, yeah, we'll keep you updated later because I know very well it's gonna get worse today and tomorrow and the rest of the year. I'll keep you updated. So let's talk about this video. Oh my goodness! Now I'm realizing I forgot to take my medicine. And I'm also forgetting um, to take pictures of my lymph node. Okay, so enough about that. You can't see it clearly because this tablet does not want to record very clearly streaming. But there is a meme on Twitter, and basically it's a picture of young Ripper, and below it is a big blob of text. This is supposed to be a meme. Now it's funny when the meme is supposed to be funny, but it's not funny at all. You know when memes are very long, it's unironically long. You know, no, it's ironically no. I don't know. I forgot. I'm forgetting the meaning of those words, but it's normally meant, if it's long, it's normally meant to kind of make fun of long memes. But here you have a meme that is basically an insult. It's not a meme. It's not trying to make fun. It's trying just to omit vitriol. And that's what it's all doing if you think about it. Because let me read the meme to you because you can't see it. Professional ass kisser of Ethan Van Sciver, lazy dipshit who can't meet deadlines like Ethan, spews right-wing conspiracies despite claiming to be a libertarian, wrote a mediocre comic with stilted writing and panel errors. Entire comic book campaign is rooted in jealousy of people with more talent and integrity, never satisfied with the sales of his comic and has to lie about its success. Baffled to the concept of a multiverse, complains about stupid shit online for whiskey money. Now, first things first, let me try and break this down to you. I don't know everything about Young Ripper. I started watching him on 2019. I wasn't really a very avid viewer. I would watch him time to time, but I was subscribed to him since then. And um, of course, there were so many people to watch. So yeah, overall, now I'm paying more attention to him, and I can really understand a lot what he's talking about. So let me just talk about the first line. Professional ass kisser of Ethan Van Sciver. First things first, I don't think he's kissing his ass for having him on a couple of videos or talking about him or talking about his comic or whatever. That's not ass kissing, okay? That's not ass kissing. It seems to me that they are friends, so that's friendship. Lazy dipshit who can't meet deadlines like Ethan. I don't get how this is some kind of uh, thing now. Lazy dipshit. What does that even mean, lazy? When was Eric lazy? The reason why he actually, you know, pulled the deadline, he stretched the deadline because there were more orders. The comic book was done. Oh my goodness. Can these people grasp it? The comic book Isom was done. It was complete. Eric did not know that he was going to sell so many more copies. So they had to stretch it up That's why they didn't post it on the exact first deadline. They had to stretch the deadline out. So already this person who made the meme does not understand him, but is basically making a some kind of picture on their own mind. You know when people don't like you, they'll try and make sure that you are the worst character possible, and they'll make sure everything about you is wrong, the way they characterize you whatsoever, just so they can feel right. Okay, moving on. Spews right-wing conspiracies despite claiming to be a libertarian. First things first is libertarian. It's in the middle of left and right, and so it's not right-wing conspiracies. I don't know what right-wing conspiracies they are talking about. If it's talking about the Poke, I'm sorry to break it to you, but a lot of the information coming out right now, a lot of people are concerned about it. Okay, and people like Eric, a lot of people, maybe some on the left, some on the right, and many in the middle, really were questioning this type of this forced poke. Okay. The next thing is, of course, write a mediocre comic with stilted writing and panel errors. Now, I have never read Isom. I don't know much about it, but obviously, this person seems to be someone who never really read it or possibly watched someone review it. Um, Mediocre comic, first things first is it's mediocre to them because they don't like it. Simple as that. And secondly, if you're wondering why it might not be as groundbreaking as ever, if it was not, because it's just starting a multi, it's starting its own kind of like expanded universe, correct? So the first copy, the first issue won't be as super duper like an asteroid eating the hut. It will be something just to introduce us to the basic concepts. Then you have entire comic book campaign rooted in jealousy of people with more talent and integrity. Now, let me just break this down. You think Eric is jealous of the people that don't even know how to write properly, don't know how to draw that well, and this is coming from someone who's not the best artist. You think Eric is jealous at these people? You think Eric really is jealous? Or Eric is frustrated with how the industry is going and he had his own ideas and wanted to move the industry somewhere else? Just remember that many of these woke comic book creators, many of them don't sell well. Okay, let's be real. They take all of their comic book success uh, because of the manga sales. Just remember, woke comic books do not sell as much. Okay, some of them were cancelled. The gay Robin and I think the gay Superman or some, I don't know which one was cancelled. One of them or both of them cancelled after a couple of issues. Do you understand that these people have no other creativity? They are literally leeching out of old heroes, swapping up their sexual orientation just to kind of make a gimmick. And that's the only gimmick they can sell on. They can't really create anything new, and if they do, it's going to be some kind of connection, some kind of other character, maybe connected to Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man, you know? Like more of these Spider-Men or Supermen, like they just want more variants and different types and multiverses. They latch on to that just as an excuse to continue their work, you know? So yeah, apparently that's having talent. Okay, that's having talent. Also, integrity. What integrity? Have you seen some of these people? Okay, look, I know some of y'all who watch me might not really be interested in comics, but have you seen some of the comic book creators online? Some of these mainstream comic book creators who work for DC and Marvel, the disgusting things they say, the most hateful things they say about people. So just remember that these people have no integrity. Okay? Never satisfied with the sales of his comic book and has to lie about his success. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Never satisfied with the sales. This guy was completely satisfied, all satisfied. The dude didn't even think he was gonna reach 1 million possibly, and he reached 3 million. He's oversatisfied. Secondly, uh, lie about his success. When does he have to lie about his success? He sold more comic books than the entire industry, the American industry has last year. So just remember that, okay? 60,000 something comics. That's a lot of comics, okay? And he isn't even on the list or recognized by mainstream because the mainstream don't like him. They don't play like him, okay? They are the mainstream. Just remember, okay, wokeness is now mainstream. Being progressive is now mainstream. So only a certain type of progressive, by the way, because if you're like a progressive that's pro-life, then you're obviously gonna get ridiculed. But nonetheless, like all of these type of like DC, all the type of Marvel stuff, very mainstream, and they didn't even come close to Eric's success. So Eric did not lie about his success. It happened. It's true. These people are trying to make it seem as if it never happened. Okay, finally. Oh, console battery low. Final line. Complains about stupid shit online for whiskey money. I don't think Eric drinks whiskey. I don't know. I don't know anything about him drinking. But I have a problem. I have a problem when people think that all of his money is directly going to his pockets. Like, what? Complain about stupid shit online for whiskey money, as if he isn't taking many amounts of his money to back up his company. And even if he was spending it on whiskey money, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? You know, I'm sure whatever he earns on his private accounts, okay, whatever he earns on from his comics have to go back to his comic company. Whatever he earns from himself has to obviously go to himself to kind of keep him alive. But also, I'm sure possibly, he will save a lot of his own personal money too. I don't think he's just gonna throw it on whiskey. I don't even know if he drinks. I never heard him say drinking before. So that's an interesting meme. Meme in quotations. Just remember that this is not a meme. It's just a bunch of conspiracies against Eric and is trying to be sold off as a meme. That's the funny part about this. They think it's a meme. People think this is like the best meme ever. Complaining about someone, lying about them. Oh, that's a meme apparently. Well done. Well done. You won everything apparently. So don't be surprised when you see more stuff like this, and that's all I'm telling you. Do not be surprised, because for the past 4 or 5 years, it was nothing but these type of memes, these type of vitriol memes. Never really anything funny. Okay, I'm gonna charge this right now, so I'll be right back. I thought I charged it earlier. I actually thought I charged it earlier. Um, but turns out that I hallucinated that. Maybe I'm also hallucinating a lot of things. Uh, okay, so I'm back. Let's walk a bit. Look at the sky. That's beautiful. We had to put a lot of this white liquid. It isn't toxic, so toxic. It's just cleaning liquid. I had to block some of the holes because ants were coming in from the outside, but they never came out. So I had to be very concerned about that. I have a big problem when it comes to ants, especially these days. Ants are just coming everywhere. So yeah. All right then. I just don't know what else to say really. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of annoyed that this is the best meme they could think of. And just remember, their meme is about lies. Meme always supposed to be about truth. Truth. You always meme things about truth. And maybe slightly exaggerate the truth. But this isn't slight exaggeration. This is complete lies. You know? Overall, did so well. I feel like his detractors are just below everything at this point because they just can't stand the fact that he is successful and they have to lie about it. Moving on. moving on. What else can I talk about? What else can I talk about? The Tate Bros are free. That's something to talk about. Not technically free, they actually are placed in house arrest. And then by the end of the month, they'll have to go back to court so they can have a final discussion on their fate. That's kind of spooky because if you don't know, many of the victims, many of the victims were many of the victims. Let me just uh, let me just take the shoes out for a moment. Many of those who were listed as victims, guess what? They weren't victims. They came out and said they are not victims. I think like two or three women came out and said they're not victims. They are, you know, very fine with the Tates. But the judge did not cross them off the list, apparently. It's kind of crazy, you know? And then you have your so-called actual victims. And guess what? They don't even think the Tates did anything to them. They literally lied. They literally lied about, human trafficking and whatnot. And now crazy things are happening. And let me just say that imagine if this did not happen to the Tate brothers. Imagine if this happened to someone very average, your very average male. Imagine if that happened to him. Imagine that. Because it does happen. False accusations do occur. Now, the problem I have is a bunch of people are sad that is out or at least in house arrest. They just want him arrested. And it's sad because what this tells everyone is that you rather have people actually victimized than um, than people to be free. There's a lot of people I don't like, but it doesn't mean they deserve to go to jail because they've done nothing illegal. So there we go, you know. But it's crazy when it comes to the Tates. Everyone just want them to be thrown in jail, and that's it. Because apparently that will make them feel better about themselves. That tells a lot about other people. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything that Tates do, but throw them in jail for saying a couple of things. Just remember what the Tates are saying. People have said that before Tate. Before Andrew Tate was big, people were saying stuff like that. I remember watching people 2019, uh, 2020 times. They will talk about stuff like this. And guess what? It wasn't as mainstream as now. I think with the rise of like people making videos on alpha males and whatnot, obviously you're gonna get a lot of these opinions blown out. I didn't really care that much about Andrew Tate until people started talking about him. And the same culprits that always don't know what the heck they're talking about start talking about him, and then you start realizing what is going on. I don't agree with everything he does, but then you start watching him, and it's like, wait a minute, he's just making jokes. He's just having his own time talking about certain things. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And you have all your normies going out and just watching him just to get some extra views. It's really ridiculous, honestly. It's crazy how this has become such a thing now. You know, I'm sure many of the people hating on him have a lot of fresh skeletons, not even skeletons, corpses in their closets. And then when they get exposed for something, they shrivel like paper, like wrinkled paper. So at the concluding hour, many of the people acting as if he's the worst monster in the world obviously are hiding a lot of their own. Okay, I can guarantee you that. A lot of them you would never want to be around with. I'm just saying, many of them, the way they want him to be arrested just for false allegations proves a point that they aren't really good to be around with in the first place, correct? So that's just my opinion on all of this type of stuff because the reactions to him being on house arrest, not just from like your average lady, but I'm talking about your mainstream
YouTuber, your mainstream drama YouTuber, because let's face it, most of the people hating on him just love to milk drama. Um, Most of them just really want him gone, and it's sad because that's all they can think about right now. It reminds me of the Orange Man as well. Like people are happy that he's getting addicted, but it's like, excuse me, really? Because they tried to get him on other cases, like with the Russia thing, and then people still believe in the Russia thing, even though it's been proven to be false after many years. People still believe in that conspiracy. So what I'm trying to say is that, guess what? Guess what? The hate will always make him stronger because you get your usual characters who have no respect for the world aiding on Andrew and his brother. Then you start thinking, yeah, something ain't right. Something ain't right a lot. Because what's going on these days? Most of the people, going after him, most of his detractors, they are people you would never want to be around with. People won't even be around them if it weren't for them having a lot of followers. Just remember that. Anyways, it's time just to, I don't know, talk about something else because I don't want to talk about this topic forever. Okay, anything about my laptop? No, I don't have anything else about my laptop. Nothing else information about my laptop. I can't, I didn't even put it on in a couple of weeks because it's pointless. It's pointless, okay? It just feels so pointless just to go back and say, "Hey, I'm gonna plug this on." It's not gonna give me any value. Besides, I took the freaking hard drive out, so I wonder how that's gonna work. Okay, I'm very, very tired. My throat's really hurting. So, one last look at the beautiful skies, and then we can just go. Have a wonderful day. Bye.